Once upon a time, it was roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. Now it's fish and chips, Britain's new national dish.
Welcome to Codfellas. This is just one of the many fish and chip shops that are run by my family. Ever since my granddad came over to England from Cyprus in the 1960s, fish and chips have been what have kept us going, and they've been passed down through 3 generations. Codfellas is run by this man, Paul Panayi.
I see you, baby.
AKA my dad.
So what are you doing now?
What am I doing now? I'm making my homemade chicken wings that I flour in my special recipe, secret recipe. I can't tell you. If I do, I'll have to kill you. But
Would you say this is part of how fish and chip shops have changed over the years? Like
most
back in the old
definitely,
days,
most definitely. You've got to cater nowadays for people with all sorts of things. You can't just rely on fish and chips because 30, 40 years ago we didn't have. We had these takeaways like Kentucky and McDonald's and your Wimpy's and that, but nowadays people have got such a large and vast array of different food outlets to go to that you never know where you want to go. You've got the choice, you're sport. You've got Greek, you've got Turkish, you've got Thai, you've got Mongolian, you've got whatever you want really, basically.
It's not just my immediate family that work in the fish and chip shop trade. My aunt and godmother, Kathy Zinanos, owns and has owned multiple fish and chip shops over the years, and has recently opened a fish and chip restaurant and takeaway called Barracuda, or as it has been mistakenly nicknamed by my grandmother, Can of Tuna.
I decided to open up a fish and chip shop restaurant because I felt the fish and chip shop industry needed a new direction to go into, and I wanted to become one of the first to head that way.
Yeah, the style of my shop is what I call dated. It's still stuck in a time warp, unfortunately. It looks like a 70s fish and chip shop. So yeah, I'd definitely change it, and I'd turn it into a fish and chip restaurant. I don't mind working with my family. Working with family, it's a pleasure actually, because I bounce off my wife dead easy, and we just get on with the work and trot along.
My dad runs Codfellas with my mum, who married into the family business in 1991.
I first got involved in fish and chips not long after we got married. We came back from our honeymoon and I sort of had to help out because half the family were away on holiday, and it sort of started from there really.
Working with family is never easy. It's very much a juggling act. I say one thing, they treat me as mum or whoever I may be at the time. They don't really see me as boss, and I get much more lit back. It's so much easier working with those who are not related.
When it comes to running her shops, my godmother is never alone. She is often helped by my cousins, Christopher, Connie, Irene and Glory, who have all helped pitch in on helping run the family business.
Working with family can be the biggest pain, and for me it's hard because I don't see my mum as my mum. She's a business partner the majority of the time, because when you run your own business, you take work home with you. And so I'm always constantly, whether it's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock at night, I'm poking her saying, don't forget this and remember this, and I'm a person of lists. So it's always a bit hard to determine the line between family and work.
I'm just very close with my family. I like being around them quite a bit, and I'm quite happy for them to go off and do their own thing, but we always keep in close contact and in touch. It's very important for me to be close with my family.
It's like the old saying goes, the family that eats together sticks together, and I do believe in that. Families should sit down and turn everything off, no phones, no computers or anything, and just sit around the table on a Sunday and have a meal and converse.
Some may often ask how a large Greek Cypriot family, like mine, gets involved in the fish and chip shop industry. My granddad, Kosta Senior, united the family by getting his children to work with him in his first shop in the 1970s.
My family is very important to me. We are very close-knitted as families. And also, we still have part of the heritage that we inherited from our parents to be able to look after our children, help them where we can, and we are very different from the Westerners.
Many years ago, maybe the generation before us, it was a lot different, but now I'd say we're very similar. Even families in Cyprus are very similar to how British people are. Everyone's moving forward, everyone wants to be modern, and yeah, everyone's educating their children, so I can't see the big differences anymore.
There's no difference between British and Cypriot families. I think that love exists obviously between all of us. It's just the traditions actually that make it a little bit different.
Have you ever seen my big fat Greek wedding? It's just like that.
Although the future of fish and chips is uncertain, the door is always open for future generations to come and get involved in the family business. Like my cousin Irene, who is currently helping her mum run 2 of her fish and chip shops.
I was not pushed into fish and chips by my mum and dad whatsoever. They've been saying to me to get out of the family business, do something else, because it is such hard labour and it's gruelling. And when you work for yourself, there is no time for yourself.
I really can't see any more of my nephews or nieces getting into fish and chips because we've tried to steer the kids clear of doing fish and chips, but if they want to do it, it's there for them and it's a job for life if they want it and if they're willing to work long and hard hours.
The competition with other businesses, it always exists. It's not a new thing. I don't feel like I'm in competition with anyone, only because I truly believe in the product that I have.
Competition from other businesses, you're always going to have it. I think right now with the economy, the way that it's going, the majority of businesses that are opening up are food industry businesses. It's regardless if it's fish and chips opening up around you, chicken shops, pizzas or Indians, you know, any kind of takeaway is a kind of competition. People, you know, didn't used to expect fast food to be so fast food, and that's because they used to want to wait for their food to be freshly cooked for them, and now everyone is so used to mass-produced products like McDonald's and KFC, where it's already done there and frozen and getting cooked, you know, after 2 seconds and it's done. You know, that it threatens us because people are so impatient now, they don't want to wait. You can have competition from other takeaways or anything, but it's just how you run your business to make sure that you stay on top.
The industry, it will always be, and it will have changes. Now, what the changes they're going to be, who knows?
Family to me has to be, in fact, the most important relationship that I have with anyone. Fundamentally, it means everything to me.
And there you have it, the Panayi family legacy of fish and chips. Although the hours are long and the work is gruelling, we always manage to pull through. Through love and respect for one another, we have stayed a very close family and all have one thing in common: fish and chips.